Maybe this week.
It's a pretty significant boys. I wasn't too good at that either. Well, you do calc and then trig.
Say hello.
I don't know what it is.
Testing.
Yeah.
Now it works.
Good.
Something's wrong with the wireless mics. It's gotta be the wireless mics hookup.
Mr. Nene.
Okay.
All right.
Take pictures of all the stars.
I'm sorry. Good. Thank you.
Here goes just like that.
Okay. I call this meeting of the Hamtramck City Council to order. Today is Tuesday, January 10th, and it is 7 p.m. Will the clerk call the roll, please?
Mayor Mansky.
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem Mia.
Present.
Councilwoman Karpinski.
Present.
Councilman Hassan.
Present.
Councilman Almasmari.
Present.
Councilman Parada.
Present.
Councilman Musa. I have not heard from today.
Thank you. All rise, please, for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Do we have any community announcements?
Madam Mayor,
Councilwoman?
concerned women for Hamtramck, are doing their Martin Luther King Jr. prayer breakfast on Monday, January 16th from 9 to 11 at the Hamtramck Community Center. Tickets are $15 for adults, $5 for children.
Any other announcements? On Sunday at 10 a.m. at St. Florian Church, the Colonels Chorale will be doing a concert, and that's a free concert. If there are none others, then do we have any proclamations or recognitions?
Madam Mayor, a
Councilwoman?
letter of condolence to the family of Ted Liska. He was a longtime coach for baseball and Little League. Passed away on Sunday. I'll get you the information. Funeral's on Friday and Saturday.
Are there any other, go ahead.
Dr. Ghaznavi passed away day before yesterday. Was a long time doctor, practiced out of Hantramck, Dos Campos. His office was right next to Little Caesars. I'll get the information.
Yeah, email it to me, whatever you need,
Yes, sir.
whenever I go, put something together for you.
And any others? Then we'll move on to, if there are no additions or deletions from the, oh, we do have an addition to the agenda. We need to add, as the first item of new business, the extension.
We're adding it to the consent agenda.
Oh, to the consent agenda? Okay, to the consent agenda as the first, or what could be the last item. The extension of the towing contract with one-year extension of the existing towing contract with B&T.
I'll move.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Then that item is added to the consent agenda. Are there any other additions or deletions? I think that's all we had. All right. Then, moving on to public input. Do we have any members of the public who wish to speak?
Mr. Zwolak turned in a card.
Good evening. I wanted to bring one of my concerns up to the council,
And that was public safety and our contract with our police department expired, if I'm not mistaken, June of last year. The council did approve a contract with the, for a comprehensive analysis of law enforcement services. It's been like 9 months now. And I think it's imperative that we, establish a contract with our public safety. Time has gone by. One of our biggest issues in Hemtremic right now is public safety, and we need to move forward on that, addressing some of our shortcomings there. I think a new contract and also, compensation changes and benefit changes would help. But it's been long overdue, and I really encourage the council to get an update, on our police contract and where we're going with that. Also, I do want to acknowledge that at the last TAB board meeting, last in December, I did make some comments relative to the fact that the city's been rather inconsistent for the past 4 or 5 years with the state coming in and the changes in city managers. And I did, under the concern that we need to continue to have current consistency, and I did recommend if the city manager so is inclined to recommend to the TAB board to extend her contract so that we can continue to have some consistency with the city manager. Thank you.
Is there anyone else? All right. Thank you. Then we'll move on to the consent agenda. The items on the consent agenda are adopted in a single motion without discussion. The items are the approval of the minutes of the December 13th regular meeting, the January 3rd organizational meeting, the approval of the invoice register report for the date ending January 10th, the approval of the pre-approved expenditures for the date ending January 10th, and the approval of a 1-year extension of the towing contract with PNP.
I'll offer.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The consent agenda is adopted. We have no public hearing, so we'll move on to new business. The first item of new business is the council appointment of two new members to the Zoning Board of Appeals, and the reappointment of all current members and alternate members with expired and expiring terms. Okay.
I'll offer.
Is there a second? Discussion?
I'd like to make a motion. I'd like to make a motion to reappoint Greg Hales, Carrie Beth Leslie, Nasser Hussein, Mark Hausner, Tom Habitz, and Alan First. To reappoint them and to appoint Eric Anderson and Adam Harvey as regular members and Francis Sims as the new alternate.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Any discussion? Then all those,
Sure.
oh, go ahead.
On the motion to reappoint everybody on the current appointees to the zoning board, there was one name left out, so I want to add that, being that,
That was my motion.
so.
So we already had a motion on the board, or on the table, to reappoint all current members and alternate members. So actually, we
Yeah, but when
so,
Councilwoman,
right, so actually, we couldn't, have a
We don't
second
have a
motion.
resolution, or we don't have a, I mean.
This
have to vote.
motion
We had a, we had a motion,
pass, that's all.
we had a motion to reappoint all current members and alternate members with expired.
right, but when Councilwoman
Uh-huh.
elaborated on that
Uh-huh.
original statement, she left out one of the standing alternate members, so
She
it's not,
replaced them.
it's not all members. She said to reappoint all current members and alternate. And then she reiterated that not all current members and alternate. She took out Mr. Rahman's name out. So that's what I was bringing up.
Right, so actually, that's an amendment to the original motion.
Correct.
I think she spelled out who she wants to appoint as the
Yeah, we
regulars and the
understand.
alternates.
Yes.
So that would be the motion.
Yeah.
So you're moving to amend her motion?
Correct.
You can't.
You
Okay.
gotta, yeah, you gotta vote
have
on
to
the
vote on
motion.
that
Motion,
We'll
yeah.
make
Then you
another
have to have the
motion.
new motion.
Right.
Okay, can we hear your motion again, Councilwoman?
To reappoint Greg Hales, Carrie Beth Lasley, Nasser Hussein, Mark Hausner, Tom Yabbits, and Alan First, and to appoint Eric Anderson and Adam Al-Harbi as regular members and Francis Sims as a new alternate.
Can we call the roll on that?
Oh, we need a second.
We did have a second.
Councilwoman Karpinski's amendment version, we'll start with Councilman Mia.
No.
Councilwoman Karpinski.
Yes.
Councilman Al-Masmari.
No.
Councilman Parada.
Yes.
Councilman Hassan.
No.
The motion fails.
Madam Chair,
Councilman?
I'd like to make the motion, all the current members, regular members, and adding one regular member who was alternate Mohammed Rahman as a regular member, and also Francis Sims as a regular member, and Eric and Adam Al-Harbi, regular member, and Eric Roy is the alternate.
Okay. Do you have that,
I got it.
Mr. Clerk?
Yep, I'm
Is
got it.
there a second?
I'll second.
You call the roll, please?
Any discussion?
Well, we can have discussion, sure.
All right, I think the reason that we weren't inclined to reappoint Mr. Rahman is that we were told that he has not showed up to any meetings, or maybe one meeting in 3 years as the alternate, which is inconsistent with his responsibilities, which are to show up to all the meetings. And I don't really think that it makes much sense to appoint somebody to a full-time, not full-time, but as a full member of the board rather than an alternate if they're not showing real interest in being, performing their duty as an alternate. I think it sounds like more like he's interested in a title and not the job. So that's my perspective.
Madam Chair, okay.
Councilman Al-Masmari and then Councilwoman Karpinski.
I think I support Mr. Hassan's motion because Mr. Mohammed Rahman is already alternative, and Eric Anderson and Adam Al-Harbi, they are very good experienced people and they are new blood to the board. I would support that motion and second it.
Councilwoman?
I just want to second what Councilman Parada said, and since we have 3 new applications for people that are interested in being at meetings, and they should deserve that chance to be a part of the committee.
Madam Chair,
Go ahead.
Mr. Rahman was complaining about he don't want an alternative. He wanted a regular member, he don't like it. He didn't get the call from the city hall on time. He was here one time and somebody ignored him also. So the other lot of things happening as an alternate. This is my idea to give to him one more chance. If he don't show up, then we know he's not the right person. So, but I like to give him chance on behalf of his request, and being he was alternate, that's why I brought this motion forward.
So there is a mechanism within the enabling ordinance that creates the ZBA for removing a member. What is that mechanism is now in here?
Madam Chair, there is no mechanism right now.
Councilman, I'm asking,
Okay.
Melanie, because she.
One moment, please.
Go to the podium. Have you read the ordinance, Councilman?
I did, ma'am. There is no mechanism clearly to remove.
Just give me one moment.
There are 2 places that can be spelled out. One is in itself, one is in the ordinance itself, and the other is in the rules of the.
I'd like to point out that.
We can
Mr.
go
Ramos
either
was
way,
so
we can
interested
change
in
the ordinance, we can
obtaining
amend the
the position,
ordinance.
why didn't
Well,
he apply for it? I mean, didn't we send out the notifications to all the members of the board that there was vacancies and requesting them to notify you whether they intended to either drop out or if they were not satisfied with what their positions were? Didn't they have an opportunity to express their dissatisfaction and request like a new position or apply to it?
All zoning board of appeals members have been notified of vacancies as they have occurred. There is a vacancy that has been, vacant for at least 2 years, if I'm not mistaken, and another one that just occurred this November. Upon that vacancy in November, they were notified the same day. They have also been notified since November that we were going to fill these vacancies come the new year, and have been notified of the process as it has come along. They've also been sent notification that if they do not want to be reappointed or have any concerns or questions, to contact me, and I was not contacted with any concerns or updates or any desire to change their current role.
So why would we want people that don't even take the time to apply for a job to be appointed to the position? That doesn't make sense.
Madam Chair,
Councilman,
may I ask Melanie one question?
yes.
Councilman?
Yes, the question was from Madam Mayor, was any mechanism if anybody don't show up, like a couple of meetings or the number of the meeting?
There's nothing written in the ZBA establishment in the zoning ordinance. There is a section, it's a 5.03.2 for removal of office.
Yeah.
And it says, quote, "The common council shall, upon written charges and after a public hearing, remove members of the board for non-performance of duty
Okay,
or misconduct in office."
okay, we can follow that from today, so strongly.
Any other questions, council?
No.
No, I have no other questions. So, it seems to me that bringing someone onto the ZBA as a full-blown member who has not fulfilled his duty as a alternate member is irresponsible. And doing so with the idea that, well, we can always, if he does the same thing that he's been doing for the last 3 years, which is not show up, if he continues to act as he has for the last 3 years, well, then we could remove him.
Yes.
Why would you even put someone on who hasn't done his duty for the last 3 years?
Okay, Madam Chair.
So,
Okay.
my other question for you, Councilman, is there was a recommendation there were 3 applicants for the vacant positions. 2 of them were recommended by our city planner. In your amendment or your motion, you rejected that recommendation. You chose one of the persons to be one of the 2 who were recommended for a full seat, and one who was not recommended. And I wondered why that was.
Madam Chair, I did not reject anybody. I assigned myself what I feel that the gentleman you all saying about the Rahman, he personally showed me the interest. Out of 7, 1, and it's the big deal for right now, I didn't think so. And also the recommendation from the planning, though planning doing the good job, the questionable, or why I have to listen to the planning recommendation, because I have my own. Yeah.
Well, there's some confusion, because there was 4 people named, and there's 2 spots, so we have to I want to make sure we get exactly what you want, sir, okay?
So
There's 2 vacancies. Your motion was to appoint Mohammed Rahman to one of those vacancies.
And Adam,
And Adam to Al-Harbi to the other vacancy.
yeah, 2
And the alternate spot that was opened up by Mr. Rahman would go to
Francis
Francis Sims.
Yeah,
And then Eric Anderson was left out.
that's all.
Okay,
Right.
I just wanted to get that
Yeah.
correct
Right.
in that order.
And the city planner's recommendation was that Eric and Adam be appointed, not Francis.
Yeah.
So that's why, that's what I'm asking, why you're, rejecting that recommendation and choosing the person who was left out.
Madam
I-
Mayor,
reason to.
I think it should be noted that Eric Anderson appears to be highly qualified for the position, and we have no baseline to really determine what Mr. Rahman's qualifications are. We've never even seen him at a meeting, or I've never met him, I don't know who he is. I don't have anything to look on paper to determine what his abilities are. But we do have applications and resumes from the other people that we have, that have expressed interest in the appointment. So again, it seems pretty reckless and foolish to appoint somebody who is
Madam Chair, objection.
Councilman, you
Professional.
do not have the floor.
in the,
Point of order.
You do not have the floor.
You're losing your
Continue.
control, Madam
Councilman, you're
Okay.
done. There's another councilman who has the floor right now, and he's
Okay,
speaking.
no problem.
So don't interrupt him or me. Go ahead.
again, I just wanted to reiterate that we do have resumes, and it appears that the applicants that we have, that have actually applied to the position are highly qualified, and it's, the abilities of Mr. Rahman are unknown, as we have no way of knowing what his education is, his background is. We don't know anything about him. And it's reckless and foolish to appoint somebody who's already displayed an inability to complete the position, like the duties of the position that they have been appointed to. And I don't think that's a good idea.
Madam Mayor,
Councilman?
I thought Mr. Hassan's motion is to include Mohammed Rahman, Adam al-Harbi, and Eric Anderson.
No.
So, yeah,
That's why we
I was
clarified.
not supporting that. I would like to,
We've got a motion on the floor.
Yes.
So I'd like to call the vote.
Yeah, you gotta vote on the one that's out there first.
And will you repeat what the?
Okay, the motion by Councilman Hassan is to appoint the two vacancies to Francis Sims and Mr. Rahman, and an alternate spot that's vacated by Mr. Rahman to Mr. Al-Habri.
No, Al-Habri was the regular.
And Sims was the alternate.
Right.
I
Actually,
just
before we
clarified
vote,
this,
I
and
just,
that's how we said it.
Madam Mayor, before we vote, just one more thing. I would like to
No, that.
note that
Council-
Mrs. Sims was not
Sims.
among the candidates that were
So
recommended by the.
Sims is an alternate, Al-Habri is a permanent.
Yeah, just for the record, Sims was not recommended by the city planner based on her qualifications, or his or her qualifications. I'm not exactly sure. Francis.
did anybody second your motion?
Yes, I believe you did.
I
Oh,
rejected my
or
second.
not, or Councilman Mia did. So I'm sorry, will you repeat it again?
Okay, Councilman Hassan's motion was to appoint Mohammed Rahman and Mr. Al-Habri to the permanent positions, and Ms. Francis Sims to the alternate position on the zoning board.
Okay, and everyone else says.
And everyone else that expired on January 1st, and everyone else, yeah.
All right, will you call the roll, please?
Councilman Karpinski.
No.
Councilman Hassan.
Yes.
Councilman Al-Masmari.
Yes.
Councilman Parada.
No.
Councilman Mia.
Yes.
Councilman Lewis is absent.
Motion passes.
Motion passes.
I mean, I didn't that motion.
No, you just voted on it.
I was not supporting it.
You just said yes. You voted yes.
It was not my favorite.
No.
You voted yes.
Okay.
Do you understand? All right. Next item. So resolution approving the street closures for the Tour de Poids 5th annual 5K Punchki Run on Saturday, February 25th, 2017.
I'll offer.
I'll second.
Second.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you.
That takes us out of new business, And into our reports, I have no report for you tonight, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem.
None.
You have a comment.
If-
You didn't give
Miss-
us a comment.
We're not there yet.
It's coming up.
Oh, okay. Comments from council members? Councilman Almasmari, go ahead.
This morning I received an email from one of Hamtramck residents. That's regarding the snow that we had in December 15th, yesterday's snowstorm. I can read the email for you guys. It says, Honorable Mayor and council members, on October 15th, I sent an email to you regarding the snow turning to black ice, which was very dangerous for us and for us to drive and for people to walk on the side street of the city of Hamtramck. And unfortunately, no one has responded to my email. The city manager responded to friend's email, and the city of Hamtramck posted in their Facebook page that the side streets were shoveled and salted, which is not true. All the side streets were black iced, and all was dangerous for everyone. Because car won't stop if you press the brake, especially nearing the stop signs. Now we have another snowstorm yesterday. Hopefully we can see our tax bills, or our tax dollars, clean our streets and make it safer for our children. I'm Jofi, Hamtramck resident. Thank you.
Any other comments?
No, Chair.
Councilman Bian?
I don't know if remaining of the council member or yourself, Madam Mayor, recall, this body had made resolution numerous times, if I'm not mistaken, pertaining to getting the video and audio equipment repaired for the council chambers. I think there was one time $10,000 was allocated for it.
15.
And then it went up to 15.
That was right when I arrived.
You know, prior to you, there was probably $10,000 allocation to get that equipment replaced, repaired, exchanged, whatever was available. Then it went up to 15,000. And after that, numerous times it was brought up to get it replaced, repaired, so it's functioning properly, so the residents that is tuning in from their homes that who want to partake in the government activities of this community, they are able to hear, see, and partake. Can anybody tell me, have any motion, any movement been made on that resolution ever?
I can tell you specifically that the emergency manager erased it when she came in, because I tried to do that. And she did then give me the budget for these, and I begged her to put these in. And since then, I've basically been putting it back together with duct tape. There hasn't been any motions or movements since the emergency manager was here specifically about the sound and audio that I can remember.
And let me just piggyback on that. So my intention is to, currently we have our purchasing agent working on putting on a bid for an architectural firm to come in, because I want to blow all of this up and completely redo all of this, make it a much more user-friendly council chambers for the council, because I believe all of you have made that comment to me about the seating back here, this whole area. I know Councilman Mia, you've said it a minimum of 10 times. So I would like to replace all of the audio equipment as well as this entire area here, but there's a process that we have to go through to get there. So I'm not in favor of expending a large amount of money on the audio equipment, even though I know this audio equipment is horrible, until we can get it wired for sound properly. The situation that we have right now with all the wires running all over the floor, you guys, not all of you have microphones. It's just not working, and the space is not big enough. It only seats like 36 people, I think, 46 people. So we need to go through the process of properly bidding all of that out, but it is on the radar, and there is money in the building fund to do that. So it's on the radar, sir.
Well, I appreciate that, and I'm glad it's on the radar. But I don't know how far in the scope of the radar it is, but let me just, remind, the council and the administration that's here. you know, the people that come here and the residents that come here, and I know in the last year and a half or so, the numerous media attention that's been coming in from throughout the world has been looking at this. You know, so I don't know how far, you know, we will, you know, have to look into the radar to get it done. You know, I know we are talking about spending, you know, $200,000 on repairing on some of the alleyways. Great, I love that. You know, I wanted, you know, a nice, beautiful alleyway for the garbage truck to drive through. But maybe 20,000 or 50,000, I don't know. I'm not a contractor by trade, so I don't know what would cost to maybe get a nice fresh coat of paint and that will showcase our community to the world, that when those individuals do come here and come out to do an interview for you, or talk to our city, you know, clerk, or have a place where our chiefs can come in and do their presentation or interviews to the media that comes, or the mayor. You know, she doesn't have to always be in her, you know, office. She can be in the council chamber to represent this community. So maybe, you know, dial up the, you know, digits on the scope of getting it done. And the second thing I just want to make aware, on the last organizational meeting, we have brought up and talked a little bit about it. And I want to hear my colleagues' thoughts and opinion on it, because I will bring out a resolution if the support is there, about putting in a second public comment toward the end of the meeting, whether it be before the reports or before the comments, wherever, you know, is reasonable and convenient for all of you guys. You deserve, or the people that come here to attend the meeting deserve to be heard, whether it's 2 minutes. If that's all we're going to allocate for them to, you know, say their piece and share their thoughts, you know, why not? That's what we're here for. You know, I never want to shy away from hearing our concerns, residents bringing up their issues. So I'll bring that to you guys again. I would really like to hear your thoughts and opinion on adding a second, which we had a while back. There was a second, you know, comment section at the end of the meeting where public can, you know, put the input or disagree or agree with what we have done or made decisions on. So I would really like to hear my colleagues or even the mayor, you know, what's your take on that? Would you entertain that being a something that you guys are okay with, or no?
Madam Mayor. Councilwoman? I'm generally in disagreement of the second public comment. However, I wish there was a second public comment today because of the look of disgust of the residents here that are interested in being on a board and were denied that opportunity today. My 2 cents.
Madam Mayor,
Council.
I would like to address the residents of Hhamtramck and just apologize for what I believe is a foolish and highly illogical decision that was made regarding the zoning board of appeals. So, from me, on behalf of the council, I apologize.
I accept your
You have
apology.
a plus? It's
Well,
on
I mean,
behalf of
you
yourself.
didn't mean to do it either.
Yeah. I would like Eric to be in, but
Well, you
The
should have
mo-
voted.
the motion
you should
was
have
wrong,
voted-
so-
No, you
One of
were
order,
wrong.
Madam Mayor.
Yes, we need to work on our listening skills.
One of
Next.
Is there any other comment from the city council? Then,
I'll make a motion to go into closed session.
we've still got the city
Oh, I'm
administration report.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I'm going to pass on my report here in a moment. So I do want to speak to something that was discussed during public comment. The police study has, they have just now only sent us a draft of it, so there's not a final study yet. We will not be able to negotiate any of the contract until that is a final document. Per the emergency manager's orders, we will have to implement that entire study. So it's going to take some time for that to happen, and we're going to have to address the union contract that is in disagreement with some of the recommendations from the study. Also, Councilman Almasmari, every street was plowed and salted numerous times, all day and night. And today, I took 4, 5 different roads to get here from Macomb County. I took 10 Mile to Groesbeck to 8 Mile to Mount Elliott, and not one of those streets was plowed or salted at all until I hit the city limits of Hamtramck on Kniff, and every street in this city was open. They came in at 2 o'clock this morning and salted and plowed every street, and it was down to the pavement on most of the streets. Our guys are working way too many hours, and when you go to stop at a stop sign, this is Michigan, and the snow melts and it refreezes overnight, and if there's no traffic on that street, it's going to be slick at night, in the morning, all times of day. You have to start stopping way before the stop sign. You have to start stopping way before the stop sign, or you will slide into the intersection. But that's learning to drive on the snow and the ice, and it's a process, and I'm still learning as well, because I'm from Florida. So, but every street in this community has been plowed and salted every single snow event. And had you been here 2 years ago when this community received 101 inches of snow and none of the side streets were plowed, you would know what it looks like. I'll pass out my report now.
Thank you.
Make a motion to go into closed session.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Is there any objections to going into closed session? Then we will move into closed session.
vote.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
I didn't have that.
Will you call roll?
Councilman Mia,
Yes.
Councilman Karpinski, Councilman Hassan,
Yes.
Councilman Al-Masmari,
Yes.
Councilman Parada.
Yes.
So motion to go into closed session at 7:34.
That's closed session for the purpose of discussing pending litigation and the city manager evaluation.
So we'll go upstairs for my evaluation. So we can just go upstairs where we can.
Yeah, we will not be coming back for any, to conduct any business. So, thank you.
Thank you very much, Robin. Good to see you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
كيف جلسة خالد؟ خلاص كمل صح. الآن كما شاهدتم أعزائي المشاهدين نقلنا لكم مباشر مع الأستاذ سعد. إيش كانت النتائج؟
خلاص الآن بندخل جلسة سرية وما عاد تقدر تصور.
أوكي.
على السلام عليكم. كيف الحال؟
خلاص نحن
أهم شيء هذا مدخل.
ها؟ يا سعد. خلاص احنا بدنا ولا كيف؟
خلاص احنا لما ندخل جلسة مغلقة وما عاد تقدر تصور ممكن تصور. حق آدم قبل خلنا ندخل.
الآن
مبروك. خلاص مبروك.
شكرا لك يا أستاذ سعد.
الله يبارك فيك.
كما شاهدتم الآن الأخ آدم الحربي نجح بالانتخابات هذه. أتمنى من الجميع أن يحذو حذوه، وأتمنى للجالية النجاح. طبعا يا زاك معنا الأخ زاك طبعا حضر المقابلة. وإيش تقول آدم الحربي؟
نقول للأخ آدم الحربي ألف مبروك. نتمنى لك الازدهار وإن شاء الله يعني